Mangeshkar, it was created in my first India tour. That happens to be also my first international tour ever, like the first time I left my country too. Of course, the voice of Lata Mangeshkar is so good. And the rhythm is very good, this tum tum tarara tum tum tara. When you come into the Psytrance scene, you always hear about Goa this, Goa that. You see original genre of Psytrance was Goa trend, Guru Mangalanand is very nice guy and also very important to our culture. It was legendary, playing for 24 hours and traveling around the world, even like in old age. This shows passion, like I said, I am a very big fan of thrash metal, punk music. We should be in a scene where people are open-minded, but most of the people aren't. It's such a great big responsibility actually. It's a place where we usually don't have this kind of sounds. Like in Casal, this guy, he was practically crying, just because he saw me, and he was telling me like, bro, don't do tattoos before you grow up all alone. It's not a good idea. Mostly like hip hop from the 90s, NWA, Easy, Dr. Dre, Tupac, Notorious Big, Nas, this kind of stuff. But I also like some modern artists. I like good music. I'm not this type of guy that says, this genre, I only listen to this. I think if you are like that, you are just limiting yourself. Skrillex always fascinated me. He came with all this weird dubstep and made it mainstream. Believe in yourself, bro. If you have the vision, go for it and take it easy on the substance.
Guys, welcome to a new episode of the Third Eye Wi-Fi podcast. Our guest today is the one and only Gustavo, aka KiLLΔTK. KiLLΔTK has been a musical sensation in the global underground music scene for many years. Today he is here with us after finishing up his multi-city India tour, and this is the first time he's having a conversation in a setting like this. So we know for sure this is going to be a wild ride. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the episode. Also, not to forget, our new merchandise is now live on our website, which you can go and shop right now. As you can see, we use the best quality of fabric with the best quality stitching and all original designs. So if you want to support whatever we are doing, make sure you go and get your piece of merchandise, which is now live on PSYFYI.com. So KiLLΔTK, welcome to the Third Eye Wi-Fi podcast.
Thank you.
I'm really grateful for having you here.
Thank you for having me. It's a
Yes.
pleasure.
And also
like-
congratulations on wrapping up your India tour.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Right. So KiLLΔTK, can you just start by telling us about your background, where you come from? How are your humble beginnings back in Brazil? And how have you evolved into the music scene?
Well, I think I had like a pretty normal childhood, back there in Brazil. I wasn't that really into music, of course I like music, but I wasn't like a big fan of any band or something like that until my teenagers time, when I was like more into metal bands, this kind of stuff. But electronic music, I wasn't really into it, and I think my passion for it started once I went into like my first party, and then I realized that you can manipulate the sounds to sound like this, aggressive or maybe psychedelic or any way you want. I didn't knew about that. And when I realized that you use computers to do that, because I was addicted to computers since my childhood, like technology, all this kind of stuff, then I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can do that. So I think what pushes me into music, it's the technical side from it, like the electronic side of it,
And how was your setup looking like back in the days? What were your technical setup? You were remixing on your computer?
When I started,
Yeah.
when I started, I had like a pretty fucked up laptop, it didn't really work it without the AC on it, like the charger. But yeah, I started on that, and then later on I got like my first CDJs, the 200, and then I learned how to mix on it, like
Awesome.
burning CDs and everything. But yeah, my first setup was shit. Even the headphones, I didn't had any monitors or something like that, but the headphones, they were, I don't know, like $5 headphones, like that's it.
So when did you first hear Psytrance music? And when did you decide that I want to create music in this genre, especially high tech? It's such a niche. In fact, you are into high tech dark Psytrance. That's how you introduce your music. So what was your first introduction, and what was the turning point for you?
Well, like I said, my after my first party, because this party was a really big party, they had like 6 stages. So prior to this, I only heard electronic music in the radio, so it was just this mainstream stuff. But after this party, I get to know many styles like minimal, psytrance, this, that. And then I just left the party and I told to everyone, like, okay, I'm a DJ now. Well, what do you have to do to be a DJ? And then I got into it, like listening and learning how to do stuff. But after this party 1 week, I already had one set. I think it was shit, but I had it. So, like, I was doing it.
Was this a high-tech set? High-tech?
No, 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 no.
What genre was this?
It was a full-on progressive thing, something like that.
And when did you decide that you want to create a high-tech music?
Yeah, because like after this, I got into production, and then, like, I tried to produce tracks, but they were already very fast. And I was trying to break the rules, and people were saying to me, "No, you cannot do that." And I was like, "Why? Why?" Suddenly, I went to a party. Then I heard some guys playing high tech, and I was like, "Okay, so maybe this is what I should do." Because it sounds freestyle. You have more freedom to do whatever you want. You don't necessarily need to follow rules.
Yes. Can you? But as an artist, how do you perceive this 200 BPM plus genre? What are your thoughts when you're making this music? What is going on into your mind? Because it gets faster and faster. So, what is your vision, or what is your thought about this music?
Well, I like this kind of music because it brings energy, you know, um, and it sounds raw as well. Like I said, you can break the rules. And yeah, I think what I search when I'm doing it, I'm looking for this power, just this stomp, this impact that it hits you when you hear a clean drop in 200, 190, or any BPMs we use in high tech. So I think I'm
Yeah.
searching for that, like the power, let's say.
Yes. I see that you have a cult like following in India. People really freak out when you play
Yeah.
and when they listen to your music.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it started back in the days when you released the track Mangeshkar. It was I think it is safe to call it a revolutionary track. It changed the whole game when the song came out. So what was the idea behind that song? And what are your thoughts on Lata Mangeshkar? Why did you choose her vocals to be on your track? Also, just tell us the whole story about behind this track, Mangeshkar.
Okay, so Mangeshkar, it was created in my first India tour. That happens to be also my first international tour ever. Like the first time I left my country to work, to play, to present my music, I came to India. And this was back in 2018. So before this, I already had one track with some Indian related vocals. That is Babaji Vibes that I made for Goagil, so he could play that. But only this track. And then when I came to India, I had this plan, to shoot like a video. I didn't know if it would be like a music video or an after tour movie. I didn't know anything. It was my first tour, so I didn't know what to expect. But I had this plan, like this idea to shoot a video and also to make a track while I was touring, with something that got my idea in the tour. So what happened was that the guys that were making my tour, they showed me this movie where that is from where I got the track. Um, and I thought it was really funny, because the scene where they sang this music, this track, this Chanar Jor Garam, that's the name of the track, the original track, and it's like they are inside a fort, like an England fort, and they are like thieves, something like that. It's a group of thieves, like three guys and one woman, and one of those guys are kidnapped by the England. So what happens? They make a plan of going inside the fort with some garams, like some cakes, but they infuse hash in the cakes. That's for real. It's really in the movie. I'm not I'm not lying. So the scene is very funny, you know. They go inside and the girl is dancing. So the army got hypnotized by the dance, and then she offers them the poisoned food, and they all trip, and then they can flee from the place, you know. So I saw this. I thought it was really fun, and plus the music, it's really good, you know. The rhythm, of course, the voice of Lata Mangeshkar is so good, you know. It's something else, you know, like legendary. And the rhythm is very good, you know. This tum tum tarara tum tum tara. This got me, and then I just made the track throughout the tour, you know. Like while I was touring, I stayed in India for 1 month this first time, you know, and then yeah, the Mangeshkar was born in the music video as well. With, you know, it worked perfectly, you know, with the scenes from the tour, you know, the playing football with the kids in Goa. This yeah, it was next level.
Yes.
I was
In
very
that
happy.
music video, there's a visual of you playing in a jungle. Where is that from?
Well, um, I think it was in Kurg.
Cool.
Yeah, it was in Kurg. Yeah, in like a field, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was in Kurg. Yeah.
Yes, it was a blast.
It was a blast. It was the last party from the tour, you know, because this tour I came, you know, and I had 1 month in India, but I only played in 3 parties, you know, and one party in Bangalore, one in Goa, and this one in Kurg.
Wow.
But it was a blast, you know, because it was already in the end of the tour, so a lot of people was hearing about the buzz that the tour was generating, and then everyone went there. It was far from the city as well, so people had more freedom, you know, to do
crazy.
whatever they want. So it was very nice, very nice.
Back in the day, Spirit Gust was happening, you know, quite, and I think a lot of credit goes to that festival for making high-tech uh, genre, a big genre in India.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? You played in Spirit Gust. How was it playing in Kodaikanal? And how were your experiences when you traveled to Kodaikanal playing for Spirit Gust?
No. Actually, I played in Spirit Gus in Goa.
Okay.
This was in this first tour that I said I had 3 gigs. The gig in Goa was Spirit Gus.
Okay.
You know, and yeah, like when I received the info that I was going to play in this festival, I was very happy. You know, because it's like when you come into the Psytrance scene, you always hear about Goa this, Goa that. You see, I mean, even the original genre of Psytrance was Goa trance, you know, so it's Goa, come on. And then I heard I was going to play in this festival, you know, Spirit Gus in Goa for my first time in my life, so I was very, very happy. And it was a crazy experience, you know. I remember being very emotional, you know, before my set and also afterwards, you know, like, you know, it's like something that says you're going to the right path, you know, you're doing the right stuff. And
Yes.
I had this feeling that, you know, it was just the beginning. And I mean, it was very nice, very nice. Spirit Gus, super nice. Thank you, guys.
Yes. You also mentioned late Goa Gil Babaji.
Mhm.
You said you made a track for him.
Yeah.
So, what are your what is your experience with Goa Gil? What can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, you know, Guruji Mangalanand, he's very, very nice guy and also very important, you know, to our culture. Um, you know, doing what he does, what he used to do actually, you know, it was legendary, this that, you know, like playing for 24 hours and traveling around the world, even like in the old age already, you know, this shows passion, you know, like to what he was doing. And you know, my connection with him, it began back in Brazil when I went to one of his parties, you know, and I saw he was playing some high tech in the morning there, very clean beats with just some Indian insert vocals here and there, you know, some samples. And then I was with my friend and I told him like, okay, man, I want to make some music of this style, you know, like fast beats, clean beats with this Indian samples, you know. And I want to send him so he can play as well, you know. So this was like a mission, you know, like I want to make something so he likes it and then he plays. And then Babaji Vibes were born, you know. And I sent to him. And the first time I saw him playing actually was here in India, you know, in this first tour. He was playing in Bangalore, in Pebble, I think. And then he saw me there in the crowd. He called me on stage, you know. It was crazy moment. Like the whole crowd was, screaming and stuff. It was very nice. So he called me there. He gave me a whole draksha, the seed, and we had a quick chat. And then he told me, now go to the floor. I'm gonna play your track. And it was crazy, man. Like my legs were shaking and stuff.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and it was very nice, very, very nice. And then after that, like I met him many times after this, like it was uh it's a very important figure, in my career, always motivating me, also giving me some wisdom words, whatever I was like feeling lost about some stuff, maybe spiritual stuff or maybe even like work.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, I'm give him an email and he always went through it, and he was always very happy as well to receive the tracks, like he's a true DJ,
It's a great blessing that he had your songs into the rotations.
Exactly. Actually, we even have one time there in Brazil. He went to a party there because his friend was playing the Dog of Tears. He's also from USA there, so they know each other.
Yeah.
And then we went to pick cookies in his house, and then I went into the party, and it was so fun, because I was coming inside the party, and people was like, "Hey, what's up, killer?" And then they look at like, "What? You came with Goju to the party? Like, what is happening?"
Can't get more baller than that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So, Killer, like moving back to you, your music videos are really high production.
Thank you.
I think you are doing it different in the scene. I can't recall more people, doing, uh,
Thank
putting in energy and work like that in their music and their music videos.
you.
So, how do you approach the visual aspect of your music? Why do you think it is important to make the video as appealing as the song?
Well, you know what? For me, this happens very naturally, like very, very naturally. Because while I'm making the sound, the visuals are already in my mind. It's like I don't think I can separate one thing to the other. For me, it comes naturally.
Yeah.
Um, if I could, I would make a video for all my tracks.
Yeah.
Maybe not a music video, but something. Like an animation or some 3D representation of what I want to bring in the track, like what is the energy I'm aiming for it, to give to the people. And yeah, I think now, like in the beginning, I was making my music videos like Mangeshkar, also Never Slacking, it was all like homemade style.
Yeah.
But then after some time, we got more wealthy, and now I can invest more in videos like the ultra violence one that I released last year.
Yeah. Can we talk more about this latest track of yours, which is Ultra Violence?
Sure.
It's a very different sound, and even the music video, there's a lot of thought that is going behind it. And when you look at it, you can see the whole story going along with the song. So, what is your vision with that song? What was your vision with that song? What is your thought on that style of music that you presented to the audience? And do you plan to make more such music?
So yeah, ultra violence. It's me trying to just bring something new to the table. Like I said, I am a very big fan of thrash metal. Punk music. So I really wanted to do something that mix, like electronic music with the characteristics of this specific sounds. Like thrash metal, punk music, etc. So um I tried to make this track for a long time. Like I had this idea and I tried once, but it wasn't really, I tried once, try again. So I was never getting the result that I wanted. Because it always sounded like, okay, you have the Psytrance part, and then you have a break, and then it comes the metal part, and it stops, and then it begins the Psytrance. And I didn't want that. I wanted something that mashed everything together. And then Ultraviolence was born. I think yeah, it's more like an intro track, right?
Yeah.
Because it has like 2 minutes 30 seconds, something like this. But
What genre you think it is? What genre would you label it as?
well, I don't know, man. I think,
It's an original sound.
yeah, I think it's something original. So maybe maybe we should start making more tracks like that, and maybe we can create
Of course.
a new genre, I
Of
think.
course. Of
But
course.
I don't know. I would say like
Of
it's
course.
the
It's a very interesting project though.
trash, gnarly, high tech, metal, fucked up music. You know.
It takes a lot of courage to do something like that because a lot of people they always want to stay in the safe side, just keep producing what audience want to hear. But Ultraviolet was something very very different. Like I thought when I opened the video when it dropped, I thought it's going to be a nice high tech song. But seeing you putting out such an original
Drums and
drums,
guitars
I
and
was so fascinated, and I was so happy to see somebody doing a work like that.
thank you,
So
bro.
kudos
Thank
to
you.
you, man.
Thank you.
And
But I think this is what separate the artists. Like if okay, of course you can do that. Just keep doing what people are doing, but then you're just gonna be another one.
of course,
So and I agree with you. You need to have balls to do that, because the you can have a lot of rehearsal, from people because yeah, we should be in a scene where people are open minded, but most of the people aren't. But there has to be somebody that goes against that, and to just do something that will, people will just turn the nose and say, no, I don't like that. Like people used to say this about my first music videos, like, oh, what are you doing? We don't need this shit here. But I don't know. I believe that, and I guess it's working out.
of course, man. It's working out so good that now you are a very regular name at the biggest festivals in Europe, man. I can't even recall how many times I've seen your set at MOP and many other big names. High Tech Revolution, which came out recently. What a fantastic set. What a fantastic selection of sounds.
Thank you.
So tell me about that. How do you feel about playing at such massive festivals and when you see the production, the speakers, what goes into your head? I'm sure you enjoy it. But as an artist, what are your thoughts when you're on such big stages?
Dude, it's crazy feeling, it's a crazy, crazy feeling. You have this vibe. So it's a crazy feeling, it's a crazy feeling, bro. Because the thing is that, when I started, bro, we didn't have big, big parties like this in Brazil. And then fast forward 6, 7 years, we have the high tech revolution, like a big standard worldwide about high tech music, just showcasing the pure high tech. Um, it feels like a dream, and I'm very happy to, feel part of it as well, like just, you know, it's amazing, bro. It's amazing. And of course, the Master of Puppets in Europe, it's crazy, like it was a dream to play there and now to be featured there like 3 years in a row, it's so nice, man. It's very nice. And it's a very nice feeling, just being there in this type of gathering of people that have, the same taste in music and, kind of live in the same lifestyle.
Yeah.
It feels very nice, and you feel very, very happy to just find your tribe, I guess, the people that,
Yeah. So I'm sure even this season in summers, you're playing at some huge festivals. You recently announced you will be in Azora,
Yeah.
which is a great thing for the genre, for the music. And all the fanboys who have been listening to you for a long time, seeing you play at Ozora. So what are your thoughts? What are we expecting at Ozora, and what are the other big festivals you're planning to play this year?
Yeah, man. It's first of all, thank you, and yeah, I'm very excited for this summer tour, and it's such a great, big responsibility actually to play in Ozora. We know it's a place where we usually don't have this kind of sounds, and to have an opportunity to present myself there is just I don't know, it's a blessing. It's a blessing and a big responsibility. So I cannot fuck it up. I cannot fuck it up. I'm preparing a lot of new stuff to play there. It's an opportunity to showcase my sound to a bigger audience, and maybe convert some people to the dark side of the music,
Which are the festivals you're looking forward to, apart from Ozora, of course?
Well, this summer we gonna have a Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, as always, crazy. and Hive Festival as well in Germany. It's a big event. Also, we have Psychedelic Experience also in Germany. Insomnia Festival in Portugal, and there's another one in Turkey. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. The name of it.
That's great. Talking about the festivals, Universo Palero from Brazil, it's huge. We all love it here in India. What are your thoughts on that festival? And can we expect you play at that festival sometime in the near future?
Yeah, I played in Universal Parallel 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I played there in the main stage. It was nice. And yeah, of course, Universal Parallel is a big standard of our culture. Like worldwide, everyone talks about it. Everyone asks me, what is it about? How is the festival? And yeah, I think it's a very good festival. If you have the chance, just go there, check it out. It's very nice.
Yes. Any other big festivals from Brazil you want to give shout out to, which we should check out?
For sure. We have, of course, Hitech Revolution, that comes from the Cosmic Crew. Cosmic Crew also does another party, so you should definitely check it out, their page on Instagram. Also, the guys from Pachamama, very nice crew from São Paulo. They doing also dark side parties,
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys should check it out. We have great parties there in Brazil.
What about India? You just wrapped up your multi-city India tour. You were you played in Delhi, Kasol, Jaipur.
Mm-hmm.
How was it? How did you like it? Any crazy stories? I saw you going on a safari and seeing that crazy leopard Rana. How was that? How did that
Yeah.
power?
Wow, it was great, bro. It was great, like I came to India already for touring 6 times, but here in the country it's my 8th time, So I came here already and I saw already many places, but to be in Rajasthan, it was my first time. So I really enjoyed this time there, going to the forts in Jaipur, seeing, the raw and the true history from India, not really this big crazy mess we have in the cities, not just cars and everything. This, usually the people try to sell this as India for people of outside here, but that's not about it. We
Yeah.
have many more into India than just this, and so I felt really nice. And the tour, bro, it's always crazy, it's always like a injection of energy for me. Every time I come here, I remember why the fuck I do this, and it's all about the smiles, and the gratitude of my fans, that really reminds me, like, okay, this is why I do this, like I like to make people happy, and here everyone is happy just because I'm here, presenting my music for them. They don't need anything else, so this makes me happy as well. And I have many crazy moments, like in Kasol, this guy, he was like practically crying, just because he saw me, and he was telling me like, bro, whenever I trip, I put your music on, and then he was telling me the names, the tracks, and this is very nice, this is very nice. And if we talk about the crowd, I would say the best crowd, it was in Bangalore, like in Bangalore was crazy. We had 900 people there in the club, and it's just me and local DJs, so the energy is so high, the energy is so high because we have everyone is there for my sound. So when I play, everyone is just in the max, like the highest energy ever. So it was very nice. Also, we should mention as well, my Bombay was very nice as well. Like all this energy, everyone shouting like "Kila, Kila," like it's very nice. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Do you think these travels of yours give you inspiration to create more music? And do you think it influences your style of music when you're traveling to these regions?
Yeah, of course. It's always nice to gather some inspiration, from the places that I visit, like you get the vibes and then you just remember the place, the color, the mood of the place. And then it always helps when creating something, you know, just that you have like a team, and it's just not like an something in your imagination. You were really there, so you can, you know, put it more vivid in the music. Yeah.
So, Killer, you also visited Pushkar on this tour, although you did not get a chance to play there, unfortunately, you know. But I hope you're back next year, or maybe this year, you know. I hope you're back as soon as possible and blast Pushkar. So, how was your experience going to Pushkar and seeing how the culture of India has now, you know, it just mixes up with the traveling culture and the music scene there. What are your thoughts about Pushkar?
You know, Pushkar, it's a very interesting place, you know. Like you suddenly as you get there, you just feel this calm, you know, like it's definitely the opposite of the big cities here in India. Uh, and I didn't knew about this place, you know, before, and I didn't knew the importance of it, you know, for the story of India, you know, and the spiritual side from the city. You know, it's very interesting that people don't drink, don't even sell alcohol there, you know, and about the meat as well. Nobody eats anything, not even chicken, you know. So it's a very nice place, very strong, you know, and I felt very nice just to had the opportunity to visit there, and afterwards I felt very light as well, you know. I think it was good for me
Yeah.
to be
And
there.
shout out to our good friend Persico for taking such good care of you, showing you around. Right?
For sure, for sure.
Yes.
Always taking care of me, always making the best, so my tour goes flawless, you know. So
Yes.
yeah, thank
Yes.
you, Percy.
That's great. How did the audience react to your music and your sets this year? I'm sure you know people down south they grow crazy over high tech music.
Yeah.
In fact, even in northern India, there's a huge fan following. But what this year, this tour, what did you observe? You know how did people react? Which were some of the great tracks working on the dance floor?
Well, you know, they reacted very nice, you know. It was very good. Always energy high, super high, and there is some crazy stuff that always happen here, you know, that people they sing the tracks, you know. And this is a very good feeling, you know, as a DJ, you know, as a music producer, you produce something that people sing it, you know, on the dance floor, you know, because we know usually electronic music, everyone's just silence, you know, like, and then for you to be a DJ, and then have the audacity to just pull the volume down because you believe in that the crowd's gonna come up, show up, and then sing, you know, and fill the silence gap. It's very nice, you know. It's good
Yes.
when it works, you know. So
Yes, you did that in one of the maybe many sets of this tour, but I saw a clip from one of your show. I think it was Mumbai or somewhere.
yeah, Bombay.
You just shutted down the
Yeah.
music and everybody, the whole club was singing.
Exactly.
That was so great to see.
This time it's like you feel on top of everything, you know. It's very good. Thank you guys. Thank you for that.
Talking about you, KiLLDTK, can you tell us? You've got some crazy set of tattoos all over you. Which can you tell us a story about some of your favorite tattoos?
Yeah, like I started getting tattoos when I was 17 years old, you know. I got one tattoo here in my leg. It was supposed to be a lion, but nowadays it's just like a black stuff
Yeah.
because my leg grow and then you got all stretched up. Don't do tattoos before you bring grow up all along. Like it's not a good idea. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just love tattoos, you know. I just love art, and then having the art that I appreciate from artists that I appreciate in my body. I think it's a common thing, you know. Like if you love art, you love tattoos, then you're gonna have a lot of tattoos in your body.
Yeah.
But
Can
yeah,
you talk about your face tattoo? What does it mean? What does it say?
yeah, I have this Japanese here, and it's in Japanese it's Senten Gijutsu, and what it means it's advanced technology, you know. So it's
Very,
all about high tech. That's
that's
it.
very
You
cool.
know?
But you also take very good care of yourself. You know, I've seen you in your recent videos. You focus a lot on fitness and
Yeah.
working out, importance of working out.
Mhm.
So can we talk a little bit about that? You know, people they don't see this aspect of this side, but you know, especially for you as a DJ, it's very important for you to maintain your lifestyle, to be fit, you know, and to be muscular. So can you talk about that. How did that part change in your life? When did you decide you want to get into fitness, and what's your daily routine like?
Sure, sure. Yeah, I wasn't like that at all, Like I really didn't care about my health or, my diets, anything like that, Usually my diet was just like a pack of Marlboros and a burger, everything in 2 days, I say. So yeah. But after, when the pandemic times come and I had some time to, just chill in my house and think about it, what I wanted in my life, where were the parts that I was struggling, and this was the thing that I got in my mind, like, come on, I always high for the best performance, in music, in this and that. Why I'm not also, aiming for a body that can have also the highest performance, So then I start taking care of myself, and yeah, I mean, now after 4 years, I think this lifestyle of going exercising every day, trying to do cardio. Like I love to run as well, Not in the gym, in the treadmills. I hate this. I like to go outside, in the nature. I think it's better. But I think all this together, just makes your mind uh better, Like it's not only body health, if you have a healthy mind, your body gonna be healthy as well, So it's very, very important, Like it just takes away from me the stress, like the bad talks and everything. I don't think I can live without this anymore, Like it's that's an important part of my life. Yeah.
Yes.
And my daily routine, well, you know, um, I try to have 6 meals every day, It's a lot. It's a lot. But after some time you get used to it. So yeah, that's it. Like I try to go to the gym as well every day, and in the end of the night I try to go to have some run, run around the park, like 5 kilometers, something like that. And yeah, just eat clean, do some exercise, then that's it.
You think that helps you with music production, and do you think it gives you the mental clarity? Also, for inspiration, what do you do for your music? You think running and going out in the nature, it helps you get new ideas, get new thoughts?
Yes, 100%, 100%. You know, it's like I said, it takes out from me, like this heavy feeling of stress, all these things, like disconnects you from scrolling Instagram reels every day, the whole day. So of course it helps you to concentrate in making music, everything, you just feel lighter.
Of
So
course,
it's easier to put stuff out there,
of course.
from your mind. You don't have this I don't know, this gibberish, blah blah blah, YouTube ads in your mind. So it's easier to focus. It's easier to focus, and of course, going out in the nature. Like I'm always traveling around the world, so I have the opportunity to see many crazy places. And like the pyramids in Egypt. So this inspired me a lot. Like it's just the work.
Talking about inspiration, Killa, what are the genres of music you listen to? What's your daily shuffle like? What do you? I'm very much interested in hearing what do you listen while you work out. Do you blast high tech music in the gym?
No, not at all.
So tell us about what other music is on your shuffle.
Well, in my daily basis, uh, I used to listen a lot of hip hop music, some trap as well, but mostly like hip hop from the 90s, like NWA, Eazy, Dr. Dre, Tupac, Notorious Big, Nas, this kind of stuff. But I also like some modern artists like Travis Scott, this stuff. I really like the production side from it. I also produce instrumentals for trap, hip hop, everything. I love the beats. I
Yeah.
think I like the beats more than the lyrics. Sometimes
Yes.
lyrics are very poor.
So
I can say that.
can you name some artists whom you think who
But
might have influenced your music?
yeah. But besides of this, like I listen to all kinds of music. Like that's it, this hip hop, trap, and also US in the gym. I'm always listening to rock music. Metal. Mostly metal, you know, like trash metal, more heavy stuff with screams and everything. But I also listen to the 70s, the classics, you know, like Kiss, you know, like Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica, Iron Maiden, and you know, bro, I like good music. You know, I'm not this type of guy that says, this genre, I only listen to this. I think if you are like that, you are just limiting yourself in order to know new stuff, and who knows, maybe you like it. You know,
Yeah.
and then and you asked me
Influence.
the influences, yeah. So I think this is one thing that influences me a lot, you know, just listening to different styles of music. So I say like, oh, I like this stuff in this particular style. So I try to convert it to something that would fit into my music, you know. But yeah, I don't really have a reference, you know. I like to be the reference, and yeah. Of course I have this, that, but there's no one that I just look at, wow, this is the reference, you know.
Yeah.
No. But if I could say, bro, I think maybe, you know, since my childhood times, you know, Skrillex always fascinated me, you know, the way that he changed the game, you know, he came with all this weird dubstep and made it mainstream, you know. And if you stop to think, it's like, I don't know, bro, I would say it was impossible to do that, you know, because the sound is very weird and he made it cool for everyone, you know, with the music videos, with this and that. So yeah, I like what Skrillex is doing. I think he's a very good artist, very creative, and also a very good in his business side. You know,
Yeah.
I think he's the guy.
So, Killer, moving ahead, can we talk about some of your upcoming projects or releases that we can look forward to? What is coming up in this year, next year? Do you have any big plans?
Yeah, you know, as always, in this scene, you need to keep moving and keep releasing stuff. Otherwise, you get behind. You know, because there's always many artists doing stuff, coming up with new music, fresh stuff. So this year I'm gonna drop the volume 2 of High-Tech Mania, KiLLΔTK and Friends. That is like a EP that I started last year, you know, just for collabs. And we also have we're gonna start releasing stuff in in my new label, you know, the label that I just started. It's called Spank Records. Uh, Many people were asking me actually if I left Blackout Records, you know, because I just started this new label, but I didn't, you know. I don't think one thing uh, cancels the other, you know, like with Blackout since their beginning. But I just think like with my position in the scene, you know, the reach that I have, I could help more new artists, you know, to just go out there, you know, and have people listening to their sounds. And that's why I started Spank Records. So yeah, this year we're gonna release some EPs from some new projects and VAs. So yeah, you guys can expect many more new stuff coming up.
Killer, so you have any plans to return to India anytime soon? Any future performances or collaborations in the future that we can expect?
Yes, of course. I mean, I plan to come to India my whole life, you know, even if I stop playing, you know, music. Like I always joke with my friends that I want to have a house there in Kasol, you know, where nobody can find me, you know. So, but yeah, of course I have plans, you know, like I'm gonna come here to India in the New Year's. We're gonna have a blast in Hilltop. I don't even know if I could say that, but I'm just saying. So yeah, and now of course in the next year another tour with Persico. Also playing his festival, the Holy Purim in Pushkar. So yeah, I always have plans to come back to India. Always.
Great to hear that, man. Any final messages for the audience, for the youth who are watching this episode, who listen to your music, who look up to you?
um. Well, I think you know, you just if you have like a dream or objective, just believe in yourself, you know, and don't really listen to what other people are saying, you know, even if you think they're your friends or something like that. Because if I listened to what people told me, you know, some people told me from the beginning I wouldn't be in this position where I am right now, you know. I would already have stopped and maybe I will be working in Walmart or something like that. So believe in yourself, bro. If you have the vision, go for it, and take it easy on the substance.
So, Killer, thank you for your time, man. I'm grateful again for you being here, man. I'm fanboyed right now, to having such a big star right next to me.
It was
I've got a special gift from you. It's one of my creation from our latest drop at PSYFYI.
Okay.
It's a part of our latest merchandise we released yesterday on 420 day. So I just want to gift it to you, and I hope I'll see you wearing this sometime in the future.
For sure,
Yeah?
sure. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Ciao. That was a crazy episode with KiLLΔTK. I hope you guys liked it. And if you're still tuned in, I'm really, really thankful to you. Make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, comment down below who you'd like to see next on our podcast.